I'm listening.
Yep, it's rolling.
If I had the power to change any one societal issue with a snap of my fingers,
I have a list for this.
Mental health,
gender inequality,
the bullying and harassment online,
menstrual equity,
hate speech, fake news,
disability awareness, disability rights,
period poverty.
we've been accustomed to either see social media as a source for social leverage or a source of complete evil, a waste of time. CSF took the middle ground and pointed out that using social media is A, a great responsibility, and B, potentially a source of great change.
Counter Speech Fellowship works with teenagers who are citizens of tomorrow and helps them develop a healthier relationship with technology. And it helps them have a positive experience online.
It has exposed me to the ability of social media to create communities. इतने सारे लोगों को एक साथ लाना, but with individual voices. That is such a beautiful, powerful thing to do.
our generation is particularly prone to bullying and harassment online, which is why a good friend of mine conceptualized and brought to reality No More Bulimia, which is basically an online portal which seeks to destigmatize eating disorders and bullying in general.
मैंने कोरोना कैंपेन में काम किया था. We raised funds for migrant workers. So I remember being a huge part of the fundraiser and hosting events and managing stuff. So that was genuinely very lovely, and it warmed my heart that we could make someone's life better.
I started to campaign advocating for social issues like menstrual hygiene.
we try to achieve menstrual equity through distribution of sustainable menstrual hygiene products. We not only help the environment but also the girls that lack access to education. That is how menstrual equity relates to gender equality.
Being a heterosexual male, I acknowledge my privilege. I acknowledge that I get unfair benefits because of my gender, and I want to change that. I want to use my privilege to change that.
I engaged in conversation with a lady twice my age who is of the opinion that our generation is too inclusive for our own good and that we make up concepts like body positivity. So I think during that 20-25 minute conversation that I had with her, I was somewhat able to change her perspective about concepts like body positivity.
And that's the power of counter speech.
The capacity to not just change the physical world, but change someone's mental landscape. That's art for advocacy.
आर्ट सिर्फ जश्नों के लिए नहीं होती है, आर्ट सिर्फ त्योहारों के लिए नहीं होती है, आर्ट सिर्फ एंटरटेनमेंट या रोमांस के लिए नहीं होती है. आर्ट goes beyond that. When people don't want to listen to you, they will listen to your art.
Parents have come back to us and told us that when they followed the fellowship handles on Instagram, they were amazed at the kind of artwork that was being produced or the kind of depth and thinking that it exhibited.
Through the Counter Speech Fellowship, we actually met with a bunch of different talented artists who create awareness about various problems in society through their writing, their art, their poetry, or different forms of expression.
You've been breaking barriers and throwing rule books out about what kids are supposed to talk about, what young people can raise their voices about on the internet. This incredible democratic space that you've made your own.
The older generations keep complaining about how our generation is always on their phones. All their news comes from their phone. But I think that is what makes them the best equipped to deal with today's problems.
Social media is not just entertainment anymore. Social media is really one of those places to fight for people's rights, to spread information, to spread awareness, especially because it's governing almost every aspect of our lives.
A lot of people say that the youth of today are the citizens of tomorrow, right? But I personally feel the youth of today are the citizens of today as well.
And this was truly due to YLAC. It's because it made the young people feel like they have something valuable to say and that they were going to be heard if they talked about it.
CSF gave me a community and in some ways also an identity for myself. You realize that you're not alone in all of this. You're not alone in being excited about things, and you're not alone in being frustrated about some things, because there is someone who identifies with the same problem as you.
That I have the ability to foster change. Not by arrogance or argument, but by empathy, by kindness and discourse.
even if they don't know each other, but strangers, empathizing with strangers is definitely going to be a pathway towards change.